So you just got your real estate license and the time has come for you to host your very first open house. Well, stick around because this video is going to give you my tips and tricks for not only hosting your first successful open house, but also for hosting successful open houses throughout your career. Let's check it out. Hey everybody, Carl McGarvey from Real Estate Investing Texas here, and welcome back to another video. This one in our series, Real Estate Agent 101, where we give you the tips and tricks necessary to be successful throughout your real estate career. So let's jump into it. Open houses are a great way as a new agent to build face time with buyers and sellers. Look, at face value, open houses are a way to get maximum traffic through the front door of a listing so that the sales agent or the listing agent can sell that house as fast as possible. But it's not always time beneficial for them to spend their weekends working open houses. This is where you come in as a new agent. You show up to that agent's office or call them on the phone and offer to host the open house for them. Take that 2 or 3 hours out of your weekend to open up that home and practice talking to buyers and sellers on a listing that's not even yours. And maybe you'll even get a buyer client out of it. So here's my 5 tricks on how to run that open house to make you successful and to hopefully get you some of your first clients. Okay, step 1 for hosting your first open house. The second the listing agent agrees to let you do an open house at their listing, the first thing I want you to do is go straight to the MLS and learn every single thing about that property that you can. Look, it's not your listing, you're not going to be familiar with it right off the bat, but before you step foot in that house and engage with buyers and sellers and other agents and other professionals from the industry, you want to be able to talk about the property in great detail. You want to leave no questions unanswered, and you want to be able to build your credibility with the community to that property and your professionalism in the real estate market in general. So step 1 is learn as much about the property as possible. Okay, step 2 is marketing. Look, nobody's going to come to an open house if they don't know it's happening. So step 1, ask the listing agent to put in the MLS that an open house will be happening at the date and time that you've offered to do the open house. The next thing I want you to do is I want you to go and make flyers for the open house. I prefer to use Canva myself. It's about $14.99 a month. You can make some creative flyers very easily and print them right off your home printer. And in fact, I challenge you to go up and down the road or the street that house is on and take flyers to the neighbors and advertise the open house to them. Why neighbors? Look, it's not that we think the neighbors are going to buy the house. It's that neighbors might have friends or family that could be interested in moving to the area. And when you knock on their door and offer up the flyer and explain that you're hosting an open house and invite them to see the home, they may have somebody who's interested in that home. All you're doing is increasing visibility. I also like running Facebook ads. Just a couple dollars on Facebook will put a few hundred faces to your ad. You can even specify what zip codes you want the ad advertised to, so you can choose the zip codes in the surrounding area around the listing that you're hosting the open house at. So build some flyers, get onto social media, market the open house so people will come. Hey everyone, hope you're enjoying this video so far. Look, if you are enjoying the video, you're enjoying the subject matter that we bring to you on this channel, go ahead and click that like and subscribe button and get notifications every time we release a new video so that we can help you become the best real estate agent or real estate investor possible. So click that like button and subscribe below. Okay, so we've marketed the property, we've gotten approval to do the open house. What comes next? It's open house day. I want you to get to the open house 20 or 30 minutes early to get to the house and make sure everything is perfect for the open house. You need to set up signs. So at the beginning of the neighborhood, set up your open house signs showing what direction the house is in, pointing people in the direction of the home. Once you get to the home, we're checking for cleanliness and we're making sure nothing's broken to ensure that the house is presented exactly how we want it to the potential buyers. So make sure the house is spotless. I always keep a small hand vacuum as well as a broom in my truck just in case the home is not clean when I get there, and I give it a little tidy before any buyers show up. Then you want to make sure you have a flag or balloons out in front of the house so it lets everybody know which house they should be going into. So prepare that house, make sure it's perfect before anybody steps foot inside that door to increase your chances for success. All right, the next thing we're going to talk about is the sign-in sheet. The sign-in sheet might not seem like a big deal, but it is a big deal. And here's why. When somebody steps foot in that house to come tour it, you want to get as much information about them as possible because you want to be able to follow up after the open house. So when somebody steps into that open house, they walk in. I normally have the sign-in sheet in the kitchen or somewhere near the front of the house where the people can give me their name, email address, and phone number, and then I have them answer a few questions like, are they working with a real estate agent yet? Or if they're actively looking to buy a home and when they're looking to purchase. This gives me some situational awareness for when I show them around the house, and then afterwards that allows me to follow up with them to see if I can be of any more assistance to that person. If these people aren't working with a real estate agent yet, this is where you as an agent get to follow up and try and get a new buyer. Another thing I like to do when people are walking through my open house is just gather some basic information. I ask things like, are you from the area? Have you been looking for a house long? I try not to hover. I like to let open houses flow. I like to let people show themselves around, especially because we're probably going to have more than one person in the house at a time. And then if they have specific questions, I'll come to them and make sure they have my undivided attention. But make sure you're staying engaged and ready to answer questions without seeming like you're hovering, and whatever you do, do not act like a salesman. After the open house is done, I want you to give it 2 or 3 days for the dust to settle, and then I want you to use the information that you got from your sign-in sheets to follow up with every person who came to your open house. Whether or not they are represented by an agent, you're going to send an email that simply thanks them for coming to your open house. Now here's the kicker. If they don't already have an agent, you're going to add verbiage to that email that asks how you can be of service to these people in the future and offer your help and offer your expertise for the local market so that you can hopefully get some brand new clients. Okay, and bonus tip that I've got for you guys today, Carl's #1 trick when it comes to hosting open houses is when you host that open house, I want you to have 2 or 3 details about the home saved in your back pocket that people may not notice. For instance, I hosted an open house last weekend. There was a room kind of hidden on the bottom story that happened to be air conditioned even though it was part of the garage. This made it a perfect place to have a workshop or even an extra set of bunk beds for kids to sleep in close to the boat dock at the home. Look, most people didn't notice the air conditioning, so when I follow them around and I give them a small tour of the house, when we open the door into that room, I make sure I point out the air conditioning so that they know exactly what they're getting and they know that I know the details of the home very well. Other details that we've used, for example, are knowing exactly what size boat fits at certain boat docks, exact measurements of rooms, or exact dates that certain things have been replaced, like the roof and the HVAC. Knowing these details off the bat and being able to present them to buyers as they walk through not only builds your credibility as a professional agent in the real estate community, but it also helps sell that home for the listing agent, and they're going to thank you for it. Look, if you guys enjoyed this video, like I said, click my like and subscribe button down there. I really appreciate you watching this video. If you have a suggestion for a video that you would like us to make, just leave it in the comments below.